Now when they do it so much overdo it, that they develop really the problems which never existed in them. They were normal people and suddenly they become sick people. So in this way, we have so many extremes we go to. For example, we are people who are right-sided and left-sided, as you can see here. The people who are emotionally very rich and who go to the emotional extremes, and the people who are more mentally rich and who go to the mental side more. Those who have any desire and just work with their desires and weep for it, and they are the most unhappy and the miserable people, and I couldn't get this and I couldn't get that, they are the left-sided people. The right-sided people are that, why did he get that, I must also get it. Such aggressive people are right-sided. Now, the people who are on the left-hand side think of their past. I was so very happy, now I've married this wretched man, I'm very weak. The man will say, I've married this wretched woman, or some sort of a thing. They go on worrying about themselves for nothing at all and making themselves miserable. So we have two types of people. The another one extreme case we can say is Hitler. Hitler was the one who was so aggressive. He used his aggressive policies. He got people who were dead, who were aggressive, and used them to entice people to become aggressive. They could not see it. They could not understand that they are not a special race. And they became such racist, which is, one can't understand with human understanding, that how can there be a race superiority when God has created all of us? It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It has no meaning and no basis. It's not natural. God has created everybody separately in a different way. But this kind of a thing comes into the mind when you are identified with certain ideas on the right-hand side, that you are an aggressor, you are an aggressive person. On the left-hand side, as I told you, a person makes himself miserable because he thinks of the past. But on the right-hand side, a people makes others miserable and aggresses them. Both sides are wrong. You have to be in the center. Neither in the future nor in the past. So how to be in the center is the problem. By saying it or by brainwashing it, it cannot happen. For that, the Kundalini has to rise. But you have to keep the balance. You shouldn't go to the extreme of anything. Because though they appear to be very positive, can be very, very dry. Very dry. They can develop divorces. They can be very aggressive. A time will come when they'll have no emotions. Even if their own child dies, they will not feel the emotions. They can be very, very dry. Now we don't see that dryness is a bad thing. We do not see that we are not feeling the emotions of another person. We do not think that is important. Left-sided people are the other way around, as I told you. But when they go to the extreme, first they go into their subconscious, in which they see what had happened and they think of the previous lives and all that. And then they can go into collective subconscious if they go on pressing it too much. Or some of the people who are interested in their purse or all such base things can entice them, can hypnotize them, completely hypnotize them and push them onto the left side. Now cancer develops from the left side. Leukemia develops from the left side. Multiple sclerosis develops from the left side. I haven't seen one patient who has come to me as having cancer, having leukemia or multiple sclerosis, who is a right-sided person. And ultimately they can be epileptic, or they can become lunatic or schizophrenic. All those things can happen to them. The right-sided person, on the contrary, will get a heart attack. He'll get a heart attack. Definitely he'll get a heart attack if he goes too much with it. But first of all, he might develop a liver, very bad liver, hot temper with it. He may develop a pancreas trouble, that could be the diabetes. He could develop the spleen trouble, which could be a kind of a leukemia, which comes out of speediness, but it has to be triggered by the left side. So it is between the first the anemia and all that thing happen, and ultimately he can get leukemia after that. And many children also become patients of leukemia because their parents are speedy. Extremely speedy people get leukemia because they are all the time acting on emergencies. Simultaneously, they are working on various things. Like you are driving, you are eating, you are listening to the radio, horrid news. Early in the morning you see the newspaper, all horrid things are there. They will never give a good news. You'll be amazed. We have been trying to tell people that we have found out solutions to many things. Please publish at least one line, half a line. But they would not. But if there is a calamity somewhere, a horrible thing happened, early in the morning you open the newspaper and you drop down. You become so much upset that emergency is set in. Then you have your breakfast, you have to catch the train, you have to rush up, when you find that the train is delayed, you start shouting, screaming, all things work out. Ultimately what happens is that your spleen goes out of gear. It becomes crazy. When it becomes crazy, it's a speedometer. It controls our speed. And you become so speedy that nothing can fit into you. And the speed of the production of red blood corpuscles is so much increased that they become malignant. But of course the triggering, as I said, comes from the left side. So sometimes the right side can create a condition for the left side to act. Can also be just the left side can work out. If a person is affected, say by a possession, if he lives near a funeral place or some place where there is a cemetery, I mean normally anybody who dies must be cremated, except for the realized souls. Realized souls are to be buried. It's a simple thing because they give fragrance to the Mother Earth, they fragrance to everyone. But if you bury a person who is not a realized soul, supposing he is an evil genius, you know about this, that the souls wander about. And I have lived, since I have come to London, always near a church. And I have found all these souls coming up in the night. And they are horrible things, and we walk over them. They are sleeping there, we trod on them. It's a wrong thing. People had no idea as to how to deal with the dead. And that's how people have also created a double problem. The cemetery is in the city, the center of the city. There will be a cemetery. All children are going there, everybody is going there, pregnant women are going there. And these busybodies can attack you. It's a fact. They exist, no doubt they exist. Even the doctors say that there are proteins, which they call them as protein 52, protein 58, like that. And these are the proteins which invade us, our being, by which cancer is triggered. And what they say, that this comes to us from the area which is built within us since our creation, means from collective subconscious. But I mean, they cannot put it together as I am putting it, because they see things from outside, I see things from inside. Now when I tell about this, people don't like it. But it's fact. You should not play about with spirits. Now the spiritualists, these charismatics and these, what is that, Pentecostals are nothing but all possessed things. These possessions can be horrible, and most of the lunatics and all these people have these possessions.